Poland migrant clashes intensify as Warsaw passes shoot to kill law after soldier death. Basically, in Poland and around other countries, you're getting all these doctors and engineers that are trying to illegally enter the country so that they can contribute to society by staying on benefits forever. And it's resulted in a few clashes actually happening at the border, and it seems it's resulted in the death of a soldier. So the army's about to do what it does best: defeats foreign enemies. But video images show the Polish troops forming a defensive line behind riot shields as groups of migrants stand about 20 metres away. Polish MPs have voted overwhelmingly to pass a new law allowing soldiers and border guards to fire live rounds at migrants trying to break into the country from Belarus. How the hell did they get to Belarus? Fascinating. It leads a little bit of credence to that theory that Putin's actually engineering the migrant crisis even further to destabilise the entire West and, divide and conquer and all that until we eventually crumble and fall apart economically and socially. And then he just comes in and, sticks a little misery cord through the armpit, because that's all it will need by that point. But anyway, the passing of the legislation comes in the wake of the tragic death of a Polish border guard last week who was killed by a spear who was who was killed by a spear thrown by a migrant from inside Belarusian territory. That's absolutely terrible. Who chucks a spear? What kind of person chucks a spear? That's disgraceful. Politicians in the Polish Sejm, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, don't care enough to find out, voted 401 in favour of the law, while 17 voted against. The new legislation exempts public officials carrying weapons from liability where they use them in self-defence or preemptively when the life, health and freedom of law enforcement officials are threatened during an unlawful attack on the inviolability of the state border. I mean, I thought that was, borders. If anyone's trying to charge the border, especially with a weapon, bang. I thought that was the point of them. Don't cross the line, stay out of my yard. But Polish soldiers and border guards clashed again all day on Saturday with large groups of illegal migrants. Video images show the Polish troops forming a defensive line behind riot shields as groups of migrants stand around 20 metres away. One of them appeared to throw a projectile towards the border guards, who retaliate by throwing a stun grenade. It's like, oh, nice pebble. I counter with. That's good. The Polish soldiers hurl abuse at the migrants, shouting, "Fuck you, motherfuckers," in English. Amnesty International has criticised the new legislation, saying it sets a dangerous precedent. What does set a very dangerous precedent is people trying to forcefully enter countries illegally. That's a dangerous precedent. It's dangerous for all of society because we are feeling the effects of that just now. Is Poland's right to reject EU's migrant scheme? Yeah, they are. They're right. In a strongly worded statement, they said, under international law and standards, the use of force against individuals must be strictly necessary and proportionate to the threat posed. The use of firearms is prohibited except in situations where there is an imminent threat of death or serious injury, which is kind of the case everywhere. Like, see if I see two guys having a fight, like, I'm not drawing on that. I mean, two men settling it like men. Let's not be a bitch and involve guns, right? However, if a man's running at me with a knife, bye-bye, man, like, you know the rules, and so do I, right? That's when it's happening. Or if I see a guy with a knife charging another guy, then, pop, pop, drop. Like, that's the point of having a gun. It's to protect not just yourself, but people from imminent harm from unprovoked attack. But then again, even some provoked attacks, like if a guy called someone's mama a bitch and then he pulls out a knife, still drop the guy. Man, I mean, I'll admit, provoked, but being stabbed over that, not appropriate. But anyway, any attempt by the Polish authorities to undermine these principles would be unlawful. You are legally not allowed to defend your border or border guards from harm. Alexander Lukashenko, the Belarusian president, has weaponized immigration in response to EU sanctions imposed on his regime following his controversial re-election in 2020. In an attempt to undermine the EU, Belarus has helped immigrants travel through the country and cross into Poland, Lithuania and Latvia. There you are, you can deal with those little sponges. Is that it? Oh, no, it's not. The refugees are mainly from Iraq, Afghanistan, other Middle Eastern countries, and Africa. The numbers have steadily been increasing, with some 26,000 immigrants entering Poland from its eastern neighbour in 2023. This was nearly 10,000 more than the previous year. And here we are at the end of the article again. Yeah, soldiers are allowed to defend themselves. I'm sorry, but if you're a guard guarding the border and someone's trying to sneak past, do the whole halt. They do all that stuff. But if they're throwing spears or bricks at your head and stuff like that, then no. The risk of serious injury, someone wants to fuck around, then they can find out. Because to fuck around is human, to find out is divine.